but you got a good mix of returning veterans and some guys in the portal that seem to be in position to maybe make an impact and push the start. What are your thoughts on the line so far?
Yeah, kind of the same situation we were in last year. It's all about chemistry, development, and really establishing what's going to be important to us as a football team right now, more so than setting lineups, quote unquote. It's about the development of the mind and letting guys, compete in that arena in terms of figure out who's going to be in what spot. So.
You've got some additional help with a much bigger staff this year. Can you talk a little bit about who you're working with on the line?
Yeah, Viana Talamaival and Bo McAndrew. Viana is a former Power Five O line coach in his own right, and be in the room with him has been phenomenal. He and I were friends prior to this Cal deal, so now that we're working together, we see things the same, we communicate the same, and I love it because there's no blind spots anymore in that room, and things that I see and things that I'm naturally good at. And then things that he sees and things that he's naturally good at, man, it pairs really well. So it's been really good. I think our development has been expedited because of it, and I look forward to continuing to build that.
Are there any division of responsibilities for interior or tackles or anything like that?
In specific areas, there could be, but man, it's just don't wait for an invitation. Just what you see and get it done type of thing, which is kind of the approach that Coach Lupoy wants from all of us, anyways, right? To see something and do something about it. So we kind of do that, have that same approach in the O-line room. And, I want Coach Vianney to talk to the centers, the guards, not just the tackles or whatever the situation is. So we choose not to limit ourselves in terms of the delegation of responsibility and more so the delegation of being responsible, I guess.
How would you say the offensive line performed last season?
I thought we got better as the season went on. I thought guys really bought into their roles as we went. We did some things mechanically to help them out in terms of their splits and things like that. But I thought guys did a really good job of trying throughout that entire year.
Any difference in your focus of what you're trying to do this year versus last year, or
Um,
based on what Tosh directed or anything?
One of the things that I've loved in this deal here is alignment in terms of what I think the offensive line needs to work on at this point of the season is what Coach Lupoy is working on with the team. And to me, that proves the greatest benefit because now you're talking about total alignment from top to bottom in terms of what everybody's doing. So there is no hidden agendas or one group's doing one thing, one group's doing another thing. I think everybody is building towards the same thing at the moment, which is unity, and I think that is the most crucial thing we're doing right now.
What's it been like collaborating with the other offensive coaches like Jordan Somerville and some of the new guys in the building?
I love it. Coach Somerville's a stud. He's extremely intelligent, first of all. But what he does a really good job at is connecting the dots between what we have information-wise to our kids. And there's been a lot of collaboration with the kids in and out of the building in terms of their relationship with him. Ike, obviously, is the OG in the deal, and KB, and obviously me and Rolo coming back. But with all those guys in the offensive staff, man, it just there's a good sense of unit and a good sense of urgency to learn because of the relationships that are being built.
Lewis seemed like a guy who was standing out early on. Can you talk a little bit about
You
him?
say Lewis?
Lewis, yeah.
Yeah. Jimothy's doing really well. Extremely athletic. He's done a good job of being intentional about learning the playbook and figuring that deal out. And extremely good athlete, and man, really excited about his progress so far.
Fred Williams is a guy who has shown a lot of athleticism and potential. Is he coming along in his development?
He is. Fred is actually having a really good spring. He's bounced around interior and exterior of the line, and he's done a really good job managing both positions. And really, his focus and his attention to detail has taken a great jump. So I'm really excited about him.
Any of the other new guys standing out too?
Yeah, I mean, everybody is in their own way. You got guys like Ashton Rivera, who's an experienced player. Did a really good job at his last place, and it's for him. It's tell him one thing, one day he'll execute it 4 weeks later, and that's been a huge help for us. Kali, Tafai, Michael Rebest, all those guys have come in and they brought skill sets that we're really intrigued by. That are really going to help us. So all those guys are doing a great job.
You see maybe rotating guys a little bit more now that you have a little bit more depth?
Yes. Yeah, I think as that thing naturally unfolds, man, your objective is to get the best five on the field. But when you round up guys that you trust outside of the five man, now it becomes that revolving door in terms of keeping guys fresh. And I feel like, man, we're totally headed in that direction.
Is there any particular challenge? I mean, unity and chemistry is real important in the offensive line. Is there a particular challenge that a bunch of new guys in the offensive line in that regard?
I mean, there is, but it's not unique to the University of California. Everybody's going through it right now, so it really becomes the race of who does more with the same allotted time given all across the country, to build that chemistry. And so that's what we're approaching it from that angle, right? That everybody's got the same hours of operation under the assumption that everybody's new. So now it becomes who puts more effort into building that chemistry and who does that. So that's how we're approaching that. So
You,
yes.
you do have several guys that started last
Yeah.
year. Is that a help?
Big time. Big time. When you got returning guys, Fred, Shiwape, Bastion, Tyson, all those guys that have had meaningful snaps here at Cal, that is a huge help to the acclimation of all the new guys into the program.
Are there a leader or two on that line group?
Yeah, I think Bastion's done a good job. This is like year 29 for him. So he's done a really good job being vocal and getting the guys on the same page. Tyson's a guy that leads by example, and he does things the right way. And the younger players, the new guys, they follow suit and they appreciate the stuff that he does. So there's a lot of guys finding their voice, and there's a lot of guys leading in their own way. So it's been fun to watch.
Thank you.
All right.